Okay, so you've sent over this collection of articles about AI in healthcare, and wow, it really feels like everything we thought we knew about online search is kind of being like flipped on its head, right?
Yeah, and it's really interesting because, usually you see that SEO is dead,
Hmm.
kind of panic with new tech. But what I'm seeing in these articles, especially from AHA Media Group, who are like experts in healthcare content, they're saying this is a much bigger shift than just SEO.
Yeah, they're basically saying traditional search engines like Google are just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. Now it's like AI is becoming this fabric that's woven through the way patients find health info online.
And that's why it's so important for healthcare marketers to really understand this new reality and how to adapt.
Because patients are turning to like ChatGPT and Perplexity, their
Yeah.
AI platforms to get instant answers,
Wow.
especially for those broad health questions. It's almost like having a doctor on call 24/7.
Right, exactly. Instead of typing into Google, symptoms of flu, they're asking AI, how do I know if I have the flu? It's a whole different way of searching more conversational.
But then if everyone's getting their answers straight from AI, wouldn't that mean like less traffic to healthcare websites? I feel like some of the articles hinted at that.
Yeah, that's a valid concern. But here's where it gets really interesting. The people who do click through to your site from an AI platform, they're not just casually browsing. They're coming in more informed. They've already had those basic questions answered. So they're basically pre-qualified leads with very specific needs.
So it's not just about the number of people visiting your site, it's about the quality of those visits. You're getting a more engaged audience who are already further along in their decision-making process.
Exactly. And while all this is happening, SEO isn't dead. It's evolving. And that's where this concept of GEO comes in generative engine optimization. The articles talk about this quite a bit.
Okay, so break that down for me, GEO. What is it and how is it different from like traditional SEO?
So think of GEO as like teaching AI to read your content, like a medical textbook. You're making sure it's easily understood by these AI platforms so it can show up in those AI-generated results.
So instead of focusing on keywords that humans would type into Google, we're optimizing for how AI understands and interprets information.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
So let's say you've written an article about managing diabetes with GEO. You're using something called schema markup. It's basically tagging the key elements of your article. So you're helping AI understand that this piece is about diabetes, the symptoms, treatment options, even the potential complications. So then when someone asks AI something like, what are the long-term risks of uncontrolled diabetes? Your article pops up.
So it's like giving AI a cheat sheet to understand our content better.
Precisely. And this is crucial because as AI gets smarter, it's not just looking for keywords anymore. It's trying to understand the context, the intent behind the search query. And that's where GEO is so valuable. It helps us bridge that gap between human language and AI understanding.
Gotcha. So in this new world of AI-driven search, what kind of content really thrives? What are the key ingredients for success?
Well, I'd say authority is paramount. Anything that shows off your expertise, your trustworthiness, like patient testimonials, videos of your providers, research reports, think of it as building credibility, both for AI and humans.
So it's not just saying you're an expert, it's proving it, showing, not telling.
Exactly. And data is your best friend here. Statistics, citations, quotes from experts, those all add weight to your content and signal to AI that you're a reliable source.
It's like saying, hey, we're not just making claims, we have evidence to back it up.
Absolutely. And let's not forget, clarity, plain language is key. Break down those complex medical topics in a way that everyone can understand, AI included.
So no more jargon then, is that what you're saying?
It's not about eliminating jargon altogether. It's about making sure the core message is accessible to a wider audience. Remember, we're trying to reach both humans and AI, so the clearer we are, the better.
And what about depth? Is it still important to go deep into topics, or will AI just handle all that?
That's a really good question. AI is great at summarizing and answering those surface-level questions, but that's also an opportunity for you can provide the in-depth analysis, the nuances, the valuable details that AI might miss.
So AI handles the what is it, and we handle the so what.
Exactly. AI gives the facts, you give the insights. That's what sets your content apart in this evolving landscape.
Yeah.
It's like AI builds the foundation, and then you come in and build like this specialized structure on top of it. But with AI generating so much content, how do we make sure it's accurate? And how do we build that trust with patients, especially when we're talking about health information that can be really sensitive?
Yeah, that's so important because misinformation online can spread so fast. These articles from AHA Media Group seem to be pointing towards focusing on the kind of content that really establishes you as an authority, someone people can trust.
Yeah. You got it right there. Think about what AI can't easily replicate, like those patient testimonials, those real stories. They bring that human touch that's just so hard to fake.
It's like social proof, but for healthcare. Look, real people trust us. They've seen results. That's powerful.
Exactly. And another example is provider videos, putting a face to the name,
Hmm.
showcasing your providers, their expertise, their empathy. That goes a long way.
Makes sense. Patients want to see and hear from the people who are actually going to be taking care of them. It creates a connection.
Right. And don't forget about data and research findings. Be transparent about achievements, awards, metrics. All that really shows your commitment to excellence.
It's like we're not just talking the talk, we're walking the walk. Adds that extra layer of credibility.
Absolutely. And this kind of content, it doesn't just appeal to patients, it also signals to those AI algorithms that you're a credible source.
So it's a win-win, but showcasing expertise is just one part of it. We still need to make sure the information itself is accurate, especially with so much misinformation out there.
Absolutely. Fact-checking, citing sources,
Yeah.
having physicians vet the content, all those steps are crucial. And the AHA Media Group articles, they go even further, talking about the importance of accurate provider data.
Okay, why is provider data so important in this context?
Well, think about how people search for healthcare providers these days. They might use an AI tool to find a doctor near them or a specialist. If your provider data is outdated or incorrect, it just leads to frustration and missed opportunities.
Yeah, it could even stop people from finding the care they need. That's a big deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So keeping that provider data accurate and up to date, that's essential for both patient satisfaction and for visibility in this new world of AI-driven search.
One thing that keeps popping up in these articles is this idea of search being so much broader than just Google.
Right? AHA Media Group really stresses that we need to think beyond traditional search engines. We have to consider all the places where people are looking for information.
So social media platforms.
Absolutely. Instagram, TikTok, even Facebook. They're all becoming search engines in their own right. People are asking questions, seeking recommendations, sharing their experiences. They're finding answers everywhere.
So it's not just about being on social media, it's about understanding how people are using those platforms to search.
Exactly. And that means creating content that's optimized for social search, using relevant keywords, eye-catching visuals, compelling storytelling. You got to meet them where they are.
And what about those AI tools we talked about? ChatGPT, Perplexity, they're becoming major players for sure.
They are. And even if they don't drive tons of traffic directly to your website, they can be huge sources of referral traffic. Imagine someone asks an AI about managing a health condition, and your content shows up in the response they click through to your site. That's a highly qualified lead, someone actively looking for information and ready to engage.
It's like getting a personalized recommendation from a source you trust.
Exactly. So it's important to think about how your content can be surfaced on these platforms. How can you answer those questions people are asking AI? There's a whole new way of thinking about content strategy.
It does feel like this whole concept of search is becoming so much more complex. It's a lot to keep up with.
It is, but that's also what makes it so fascinating. There are so many opportunities to connect with your audience and provide them with really valuable information. It's about being adaptable and embracing the evolution of search, and that's something you're good at.
Well, I try, but with all this focus on AI and these new platforms, it's easy to get overwhelmed. Are we forgetting about the fundamentals?
That's where it all comes back to the basics: creating authentic content, building trust, providing value. Those core principles will never go out of style no matter how much technology changes things.
That's good to hear. So if we had to boil all this down to one piece of advice for healthcare marketers in this age of AI, what would it be?
I'd say embrace the evolution of search. Don't be afraid to experiment, to adapt your strategies, keep learning. The future of healthcare marketing is all about meeting patients where they are, and increasingly that means understanding AI and this broader definition of search.
But at the end of the day, it's all about connecting with real people. How do we do that in a world that's becoming increasingly digital and AI driven?
That's the question, isn't it? And it's one that we all need to be asking ourselves. The AHA Media Group articles offer some really valuable insights here, and I think it's worth taking some time to explore those ideas.
Yeah, it seems like the articles are really saying we can't forget there's a real person with real concerns behind every search.
Right, exactly. It's so easy to get caught up in the, technical side of things, SEO and AI. But at the end of the day, our content, it's for humans, not algorithms.
So how do we keep that human connection front and center, especially as healthcare is, becoming more and more digital?
Well, one key thing is to write in a way that really connects with people. Use clear, engaging language.
Yeah.
Tell stories. Be conversational. Think about how you talk to a patient in person and try to bring that same kind of warmth and empathy to your writing.
Almost like a virtual bedside manner.
I like that. Yeah. And don't be afraid to let your personality shine through. Share your insights, your experiences, your perspective. People connect with authenticity, you know?
Show that human side of healthcare, remind people there are real people who care behind all the technology.
Exactly. And technology should be there to enhance that human connection, not replace it.
Hmm.
We can use AI to gather insights, analyze data, even personalize content, but we have to use those tools in a way that benefits the patient.
It's about finding that balance, again, like we talked about, embracing AI's power, but staying true to those core values of compassion and empathy. That's how we create a healthcare experience that's both innovative and human-centered.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's about using technology to empower patients, not to create distance, you know?
Well said. So we've covered a lot in this deep dive, from the changing landscape of search to the rise of AI. And it's clear healthcare marketing is going through a huge transformation. But in the middle of all this change, one thing stays the same.
The need to connect with patients on a human level and give them that valuable, trustworthy information that's the heart of it all.
Exactly. And as long as we keep that core principle in mind, I think we're in a good place to navigate this exciting new era of healthcare marketing.
I agree. It's a time of great opportunity and innovation. I'm excited to see what the future holds.
Me too. But before we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about.
Always love ending on a good, thought-provoking question.
As AI takes on more of those routine informational tasks, what unique opportunities does that create for healthcare providers?
Yeah.
How can we use AI to free up our time and energy so we can focus on the things that really need our human expertise or creativity or empathy,
Oh, that's a really powerful question. It makes you think about the future of healthcare in a whole new way.
Maybe AI can handle those frequently asked questions, and that frees us up to focus on those more complex, nuanced aspects of patient care and communication.
Or maybe AI can help us analyze data and find patterns which could lead to more personalized and effective treatment plans.
It could even streamline those administrative tasks and give us more time to connect with patients on a deeper, more meaningful level.
The possibilities are endless. It's not about AI replacing us. It's about using it to enhance our skills and make a bigger impact as healthcare providers.
It's about AI and humans working together to create a healthier and more human-centered future for everyone. That's something worth striving for.
Absolutely. It's an exciting journey. I can't wait to see where it leads us.
Well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive into AI and healthcare. Thanks for joining us.
It was great sharing these insights with you.
Until next time, keep learning, keep asking those great questions, and remember, the future is what we make it.